It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Police officers gather at Hackney Police Station to talk about their targets for Operation Christmas Cracker.
Okay. Right, good morning ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for getting up early on this rather chilly morning. The reason we're here this morning is for Operation Christmas Cracker. I guess it's no surprise to you that the Operation Bumblebee is continuing as has been in the past.
The Hackney burglary team have achieved recognition for their impressive success rate. The officers take pride in knowing that offences of burglary are down.
Year-on-year figure, we're 900 down this year from what we were last year on this division.
We're not going into a marked police car, it's unmarked, as they say. What equipment do we need?
Basically, it's very basic equipment. We've got a few bags for property that we seize, and obviously the relevant paper documents, exhibit books, IRBs for arrest notes, and obviously we have got door opening equipment available should we need it. PC Joel from the Operation Bumblebee at Hackney. Can I just come and have a word, please?
No, have you got a warrant?
No, we've got to come and speak to your son, James. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned.
James was formally arrested on suspicion of burglary, and as he got dressed, the officers searched his bedroom for the stolen goods.
Good. We're going to search your room for these items.
You've got a search warrant then?
We don't need one. He's under arrest for an arrestable offence. We've got a power to search his room.
Go try there.
Just wait a minute, let's have a search.
On this occasion, an arrest was made and the family didn't seem to be too surprised. Why is that?
That's right. The burglary actually took place on this estate, and as I say, it was witnessed by various people, some of who have come forward to police. Obviously, when something like that happens, the word gets around. Everybody knows everybody else on this estate, and I think they were expecting a visit sooner or later. Unfortunately, we didn't find the property, but again, I'm not surprised at that. If they were expecting us to call round, they're not going to have the property from a burglar in his room.
With no property, does that mean you have to let him go later on?
Certainly not, no. As I say, we do have eyewitnesses. It could possibly mean a later identification parade to see if they could identify the person that they saw committing the burglary.
The next address on the agenda's got a habit of jumping out back windows.
That's right, about 3 months ago, other officers attended the address. It's a chap that's been charged with burglary and just subsequently failed to appear at court, so he's wanted on warrant from the court. Last time officers went there, he disappeared out the back window. Obviously, hopefully this time we'll have that exit covered. From the burglary unit at Hackney Police Station. Just pop in a minute. Is there any lights? Yeah. Let's switch a light on.
However, what the officers actually found was something they weren't expecting.
Gobstopper, you know gobstoppers you eat? Right, look, I'll do it for you.
That's right.
Gobstopper, I swear!
Where's the packet that it came from then?
They're all the packet in it. Now, where's the gobstoppers?
Well, there was no one jumping out of back windows. What did you find?
They invited us into the premises to look for the chap that's wanted for failing to appear at court. On the living room floor there was a mirror, and on the mirror there were lines of white powder, which we believe to be controlled drugs. Obviously they've been seized and the occupant arrested. Also found was a small piece of cannabis resin, which she admitted was for her own use. So it'll be a quick interview at the station for helping the police out. Too much, unfortunately.
Richard Miles, Superintendent in charge of operations for the Hackney and Shoreditch Division. Are you happy with the results you got this morning?
Yes, as part of an ongoing process, we like arresting burglars because, as well as putting them before the court and giving the court the opportunity to punish them, it also has a deterrent effect. It makes them realise that they're not going to get away with it. That if they do commit this sort of crime, then there are consequences, and they have to deal with those consequences.
We're also helping people become more aware that they are vulnerable to burglary.
Indeed, one of the big issues that we have is the paradox of making people aware that once they've been a victim of a burglary, they are more likely to be a victim again, but at the same time not increasing the fear of crime. We want to emphasise to people we don't want people to turn their houses into fortresses. What we want is them to take appropriate and sensible precautions, and if they have any doubts about whether or not their house is sufficiently protected against burglary, they can contact the local police. The local police will come round, will have a look at their house, completely free, no commercial pressures, and make recommendations as to what they can do to make their house more secure without turning it into a fortress.
What's the worst that can happen to someone who is convicted of burglary?
14 years imprisonment.